Hi guys. So somebody was saying to me that it's the goal for relationship should be for both people to be objective so that they share the same truth and that there is one real truth, such as the sky is blue, right? Is always the example. There's no such thing in intimate relationships. People will literally show me the video of them fighting from their Nest Cam in their house, and before they show it to me, and I'm going to see it, and I don't like to do this, so like don't go and do this or whatever to your therapist. It's can be a large time suck. But anyway, they will tell me the fight, and each of them has a totally different perspective, and they sit down and we watch it, and both of them say, yes, see, I told you. And they think totally different things happened in the fight, right? So if anybody thinks that there's objectivity in interpersonal relationships, that's a myth. That's the myth of the rational actor in economics. There's no one truth in an interpersonal interaction. We will be having a conversation in couples counseling. We'll all have the same conversation. And somebody will say, did you hear what he just said? He said X, Y, Z. And he'll say, no, I didn't. I said Z, Y, X. And I say, no, he said A, B, C. Because everybody has their own lens. And this is super important as a philosophical tenet and as a psychological tenet. Like, this is the basic building block of understanding people, is everybody has their own truth. So when you're going in there saying that there's one truth, all that means is that you're somebody who's particularly tied to the myth of the rational actor, right? And this usually goes along with being more of what you consider a rational thinker, and then like your partner is very feelings based and she's irrational, because usually I hear it that way from that gender. But it's not like that. The guy is just as irrational and feelings based as the woman is. It's like the scene in Annie Hall, the Woody Allen movie, where the therapist says, how often are you having sex? And he says, not very much, 3 times a week. And she's like, all the time, 3 times a week, and that's what they both think, right? So they agree on the number, but they disagree on everything around it. They disagree on what that means. They disagree on the intentions. They disagree on whether that's okay, right? So in most interactions, the woman is saying something like, like, I need you to come home more. And he's like, well, I came home, I need you to come home right after work more. And he's like, I came home right after work 3 times last week. And she's like, that can't be right. And then she's thinking like, she's saying, but you went to the grocery store. And he's like, yeah, I came right home after the grocery store. Yeah, but that's not the same thing, right? So they're both right. From his perspective, did he go out drinking with his buddies? No. From her perspective, did he come right home? No. So they could keep fighting about what the objective truth is, or they could go deeper on, why does she feel like she doesn't get to see him? Why does she feel lonely? Why does he feel smothered? You could get into the deeper stuff there, as long as people are not tied to this idea that there's one objective truth, and that in some that it requires both people to agree on this, as though it's something that you can assess with like a microscope. That always goes badly in couples counseling. If you're going back and forth and everybody has to tell their side of the facts, you go through 45 minutes like that, right? And sometimes you could start doing that, and then you never stop, because it's 2 strong-willed, angry people, and they just like each person wants to say what they think the facts were, and then you never get to the feelings. You never get to where you could change the dynamics. So definitely, and send me a like if you're watching this, because then other people will get to see it. And I do have to go. I'll probably come back and do another live later. But this clinging to this myth that if we both agree on the facts, that'll somehow help our feelings, is at the root of why a lot of couples counseling spins its wheels, and why a lot of relationships founder entirely. You could agree, finally, you could berate each other and barrage each other into agreeing on the facts, and all you'll feel is like you both lost a war, because it was never about the facts. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. I got to go to a client. Bye-bye.